Hey there, Scrappy peeps. It's Shelly, and I am Scrappy Longstocking. I just got my kit, my storyteller kit. This is the Q&A kit, and I wanted to go ahead and put together a planning session, put together some plans about the kit. I already have some ideas about what to do with the question and answer kit. It's come at a really good time emotionally for me because I am having, I guess what some people would call a crisis of faith. And so I just want to go ahead and open these packages, pull everything out, and then walk through them with you. I have already watched the videos and the introduction, and I know I definitely want to do the page that Ali Edward created, so I'm going to scraplift that, and then I'm going to do the prompt page. Those are super easy. But other than that, I don't really know. You can see I haven't opened the packages. I have just received them. I think I opened, sorry about the noise. I think I opened this package because I just folded over the paper. So I'm going to take these out of the package and then bring you back. Okay, so everything is out of the package, and I'm just going to start flipping through. I lied. Everything is not out of the package. Okie doke. So I went and got a Rubbermaid container from my kitchen. This is the same type of Rubbermaid container that I usually like to use. It's just smaller. So I'm just going to put all of these pieces in here together. And I think I'm going to add the chipboard right in, and I think since I've done this, I might take a trip to the Dollar Tree tomorrow, and I might get a couple of packages of this, or I may just place an order for Walmart and grab some, because I need to go and get some groceries anyway. So the day that I am filming this video is Friday, and today is the 18th. And I took a day off work today because I was going to have a rest day, and then I did not have a rest day. So it's 6 o'clock. And I would like to play with some supplies. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it 5? Yes. And they're the colors from the kit. And I'm looking at that purple, and I think that might match the chipboard from, I think it's the March Stories by the Month kit. But these would be good. What's the story? These would be good in Project Life, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 5 days in a week. I can print some more out and change the colors, I think, and then I could have 7. So, let's see. I need some writing room. My notebook, I need to punch more paper. I have so many notes everywhere. Let me make sure it's just barely on the screen. So I think I'll do Project Life, and I like this one to go with that. These the same, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's only 6, but I can create another one because I bought the digital kit. So yeah, so I could do, there's no purple one on here, and there's no Let's get that one. Got that one. Yeah, so I could just color change that, and then maybe I can, hopefully I can color change that. I think in Canva I can only add a filter because it creates it like a, like a photo. So I can put a filter on it. So I'm gonna flip over here. And so the cats are not really behaving tonight, but what can you do? So the first thing, I think I'll try and cut out any of their shenanigans and hope that it turns out fine. So 1 through 5. And I usually do mine 1 through, or Sunday through Saturday. Let's see. Some stories end with more questions than answers. Let's see, what's on here? What's the story? Yeah, so these are almost like story cards for the story kit. And if I didn't want this, I could take a punch. I finally bought a 2-inch punch, but this might be more than that. Yeah, it's 2.5. Excuse me. So if there's a 2.5-inch punch in your stash, or 2.25, nope, 2.5. If there's a 2.5-inch punch in your stash, you could probably do that. Otherwise, I'm going to have to fussy cut it out if I wanted to do that. So there's that. So I'm thinking about, so I have a 1.5. And I bought a 2, and I'm thinking of buying a 3. And if I bought a 3, then I could have part of this lines there too. So like the decorations on the paper, on the card. So punch out the circle. Or just use them as journaling cards, which is the most likely thing I would do. So those, that will be fun. That will be fun. And then, let's see, more of the story. That kind of goes with it, and it's a good color. What else? Pieces of this life. Love sharing this story. That's pretty good. Those will go nicely with that. Hi. She says, hello, folks. These might go in there too for some, the story answers, share more. Story answers, share more. Then there's this heart. Thankful for the questions, even if I don't have the answers. This is the Q&A. Who, what, when, where. Okay, so maybe I should put these in there too, because I usually have some additional stories. So I think I'll put these in with that. I've got questions. Here's this story. Here's some of those asterisks. Whatever. Oh, here's another heart. I really love this pattern on there. So I think that's probably, I'll just grab those pieces. And they will be, here's another heart. That's a neutral heart. Q&A, my story. The more you know, the more you don't know. I like that. Okay. Not going to do those. These are question prompts to give you answers. Ask more questions. Okay, so I think, when and where? I think I would do that. And I think I will do a second one with this. So they can go, so all of these can go for potentially 2 weeks. Oh, that would go nicely with that. Okay. Thankful for the questions, even if I don't have the answers. So 2. And then, yeah, so I'm going to set those as 1. I don't know. I think I might have set that off camera. Yeah. So they're over there. And then move my ruler out of the way, and that's 2. So there's 2. So I think I managed to get through a lot. Currently more questions than answers. That's just how it goes sometimes. Asking for a friend. What's up right now? A question and answer, Q&A, lovely basics. Who, when, where, why. Maybe I should put that with those because those are the same colors. So I'm going to do plus lovely basics card. Okay. So I like that. I like this going with that. Would you like an adventure now, or shall we have tea first? I love this paper because my one little word is adventure. So I'm going to set that aside for one little word. I knew that as soon as I saw it. Okay, so here's the question and answer page, and I already knew I was doing that. I like this one, spinning me around. That one's easy. These two are easy. This one is an alternative of that other one. Sometimes the questions are complicated and the answers are simple. Interview, tell me more. So there are years that ask questions and years that answer. I like this. I like these two together. Because does this paper, that's a similar color story. So I think those will go well together. What's the story? Okay. I like these papers together. I felt immediately when I saw this that I wanted to just have a lot of journaling in here, and it might be fun to use these. I like that. That's the same color though. What am I grateful for today? Always something. I love that. I love the opportunity to do a gratitude list. Let's see, so many questions. That's good with that because if I put, it brings all of the colors together for these 3. And then these Q&A, it might be fun to do a Q. Let's see if I can just grab, that's an ampersand. So that's a Q and an A. Okay, so do a Q and then the A. Oh, there, it's bent in the package. So, and then just long form journaling here. And then if I had a piece of vellum, ooh, that goes well. So do a piece of vellum over top with that right in the middle. Let's see. And I have the 10x8 album. So if I split this paper in half and adhered it together, then I can make this page 10 and this page 10, and I would still have a couple of strips left over, and that would be fine. And then this is the facing page, right? So this is the facing page, and then this is an overlay page, and you can see the colorful Q&As over top. I wondered what I would find to do with this vellum piece of paper, or this vellum sheet, and I think I will cut it down to a 7 by 8.25. So I'm gonna, along with these plastic Q&As and this chipboard sheet, I think that brings all those pieces together. And I know I'm gonna do this really soon, and I will probably make a note to do, I will probably make a note to do the journaling in black ink. on here, or I could do typewritten journaling and then just use sticker paper or something. But I like the idea, since this is sort of handwritten. This is good. This is good. I like it. I like it. I like it. So this and that. And then this would be a good page to back with. So I'm going to pause on that one. So this one is, and I'm going to put a question mark because I may want to change my mind and put it in my story album, or I can do it as an insert in my Project Life album. So I can cut it down to a 6x8 and put it as an insert in the page protector. So number 4 is story album, and just do journaling about what I'm questioning right now, which, as I said in the beginning of this video, was there's lots of questions about my faith. I'm looking up questions on the internet. So I think that would be journaling about faith and questions on the internet. And so I think that will be good just to put in my story album. Maybe someday someone will look at it, but I really don't think that will happen right now. So all right, so let me show you this kind of close up. Okay, so this is what I did. I wrote the list of items here that I want to use, and then I did a super duper rough sketch of what I just showed you. So the Zora Neale Hurston quote, the page with the question around the edge, and then the vellum overlay, and then a chipboard. So that is number 4. This is going really fast tonight. So I'm going to put this off camera because I'm running out of room on my table since I moved my table. Let's stick that there. And I'm going to flip the page. What's the story? I bet this would be nice for making journal cards out of, but I don't know. I like this one. Might be nice to cut out the circle itself. I wonder if it would lend itself to putting a brad in the middle and then spinning around. Maybe like, instead of 2 halves, maybe doing, I don't know, I'll have to think about that a little bit. This one's okay. Let's see. It looks like a dictionary page. The interview page, that would be a fun thing to do. This is just pattern page. That would be nice to use to add in. Sometimes the questions are complicated and the answers are simple. Let's see, that might be nice to just, does this match those cards? Kind of like the opposite a little bit? No, not really. Kind of, but not really. Okay, so I'm going to move on. Nothing is being sparked by these. I like this to go along with actually this somehow. Currently more questions than answers. I like that. I don't know how I would fit that in there, but I kind of want to add that into that setup because this has red plus signs on there, and that will bring that red in along with, I think one of the Q's was red. Okay. I like this one to be like the question, like if your teenagers are going to a school dance or something and they like to say like, hey, they make the fancy dance proposals now. So that would be funny, and the answer is yes, and then alongside a picture next to it. I like that idea. Or like if you got married and you had the proposal, like an actual proposal, the answer is yes. Like that's kind of sort of thing. That's kind of cool. So I'm going to set these aside. This, once I took the chipboard pieces out, I like the idea of adding in journaling or something like that. Just having it on not a pattern paper, but like a plain white paper like this background, or black, and then you can write in white. So, and sticking some photos in some of these spots, and then some little handwritten journaling, type journaling. So I like that to go along with this a little bit, even though it doesn't match up. It's just kind of wonky that way. Like these are hand-drawn shapes. They're not, these are not, but this one is, that one is, this one is. So I kind of want to use the chipboard piece to, and it might be fun to sort of do overlays or something like that. Let's see, will any of these fit? Ask more questions. That one kind of doesn't. This might be a fun thing to do. Oh, is it upside down? It looks like I had it upside down. Okay, that might be fun just to do that right there. I would white that out because you can see the little number there. And then, yeah, that might be a fun thing to do. What am I grateful for today? You can do photos and journaling. Like these would be easy because they're regular circles and these are irregular shapes. But so you could put photos in the regular circles. This might be one word handwritten for me anyway. And the same with that. So I think I'm going to do that. And then that would be, yeah, just easy enough to, what size is it? It is just under 6 by 8. So it would fit in a full-size page protector. So that would work very well. Plus chipboard, so chipboard in the, what would this be called, like in the sheet? Yeah, I like that idea. So I'm going to do that. And then the colors from the kit are around the edge. So do I have a sticky note? I don't have a sticky note in front of me. Yes, I do. So this one, off camera, don't write on it. Okay. So here you get a little bit of the idea. So I like that. This is a sticky note from my page protector for the first storyteller kit. So this is storyteller kit number 2. So I like that. This might also fit in there, like this sort of thing might fit in there. Asking for a friend. Yeah, that would fit. If you wanted to use that, if you wanted to break this up, you could put journaling cards in there. You could cut this card up and use it in there. That would be okay. That one kind of sort of fits in there. Okay, so I'm beating that to death. All right, I'm done. Ooh, that might be fun. Like if, I'm sure it can think of enough things. But there we go. That would be cool too. So I'm putting that aside. So that's a really cool thing. Okay. Artemis has the zoomies. Artemis has the zoomies. You do. Okay. Let's see. What's the 12 by 12? There's one in here that I super duper love. I like this. So these are not straight lines, so I would either cut it up I might cut it up to do journal cards, because I like to have it on the edge, and that looks pretty nice there. If you can't think of anything else to do for it, it would do also for a 6x8 page full of journaling. So I like that idea as well. So an overlay would look nice. Full page would look nice. So I think that's all I'm thinking of for that one. Same for this one. It would do well for a full page because they're so large. The plus signs are so large. And I think I might do it something like this. So you have parts of the pluses on each side. Yeah, that would look nice to save your paper if you did it sideways, because you get part of the same part of the plus there. Okay. So I'm not really sure about those. But I definitely like that one it would be great for journaling, or just to make a piece of paper that way. Okay, so here we go. This one, I already decided I'm going to cut it apart like Allie Edwards did, the Q&A. What's on the back of that one? I'm not in love with this one, but it might look nice to shrink it down to an 8x8 and match it up with this journaling card, or to make duplicates of this journaling card, since I bought the digital kit, and then make this into I can make it a 10x10 page, or just an 8x8 page, and then 2 pages on each side. So I have that option. I could pull it all the way down to a 4x4 this way. So I could turn it all the way into a 4x4 and use it for a couple of different journaling cards. I kind of began the idea of mixing things up. So this pink and this stripe, along with this, making journaling cards and 8x8 pages. So I like that. And I like this one, documenting life's questions. This pink will go really well with this pink. So cutting that apart, using that again. Is that a paper? Is that a 7-inch paper as well? Or is it just, oh, it's just this. So it's got that on top. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I would cut this one up too. I think that's what I would do. I would not use it for a single spread. I would probably use it for, I like that green. I do like this green in this kit, and I'm not sure why. I'm super duper not in love with the red. Super duper don't like it. Purple story, green story. I like the purple in this kit. It looks like there's 2 colors of purple. With this one, I was thinking about doing a 6x8 page out of them. How many will fit? 4 won't fit. Not well. So, but 3 across will fit. And so I was thinking about just cutting it out. It might be nice to mount these onto this, and and do a question answer, or to overlay. Yeah, I don't like that. Answers. like that. When plus where. That might be fun. It would also do well as a 6x12. Just an insert into my Project Life album. Where's 6? No, it wouldn't do well for a 6, would it? So 6 would be right in the middle. So what would that be? So that is 6.5 here. So if I did it at 7, I could punch the holes on this edge and then cut it and then use this as an insert and then something on the back. I do like this paper on the back as well, so it might do well to just cut it this way and do question answer. My only issue is this. So I would want to cut, or not cut, I would want to cover these up because they're unassociated questions. So you have this one and this one and this one, so you can only do it twice. You could put this one on the back. You could just fold it. I could just fold it in half. So that's my basic idea there with that one, is just to, let's see, Q&A paper cut apart. These would go well in Project Life, but I would probably more likely do in my story album because I don't want to document. It's a specific thing rather than a general what happened this week. So sometimes it takes a long time. With freedom, books, flowers, and the moon, who could not be happy? All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us. So a couple of these would do well in Project Life, and some of them wouldn't. So what are the back of those? Yeah, not super in love with those. Okay, and then number 8. This looks like some wackadoodle math problem, or the pocket page, 2x2 pocket page. So for me, if I use this in a 2x2 pocket page, I would probably have to type the questions and answers out. And then this page, I knew immediately I want to shrink it down to an 8x8. So I know that for yes. Does it look nice with this? It does. That's pretty cool. So those look nice together. What else? What else? What else? Okay. So I like that. I like that cut down just to tell some story with blue. I like it. So I know I want to, let's see. Definitely want to do that. What's the story? Here's the details. So the details page, just cut that one apart. That would also go well in Project Life. I do use 6x12 inserts. Those look nice with that. Ow, my hands hurt. So I was thinking it would look good to do a quarter circle or a partial quarter circle. So print journaling in here and then a photo in here. And so this is it's almost 5. Yeah, it's a 5-inch half circle. So that would work. So just put the photo in here and then cut off the edge and then put journaling there. I like that idea. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So I've got that one. And then I already did the blue on the back. Not loving this one, but it's okay. This one I think I would like better smaller, but this would be an okay background page. This would be okay in like a journal. I wouldn't mind putting this in a journal or cutting it up for an insert of some sort. Not super duper in love with either of those. Let me put these over here. So I've got a bunch of those. Whoops, don't fall off. No, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. And I don't want my sweaty glass to mess up my papers either. This one, same. Cutting it up, 12. This I know. I have a couple of vacations planned this year. I also have my birthday month still to come. I like this one to go with the other one, the stripy paper. Where's the stripy paper? Quit it. Oh. Okay. And that goes over there. And that goes over there. All right. That's not this stripy paper. Also not this stripy paper. For goodness sakes. That would go great together. Actually, these three would go well together for a longer story because I can cut this up. I can cover up life questions with, actually, that might be good for my paper for my questions about faith. Where'd that other one go? The other one, this one. So instead of using this one about faith, using this one about faith, and that is the same color as that. So I could totally use that and then use these circles. I could reprint this. I could reprint this and connect the circles here with the numbers here, and then I can digitally erase this, or I can cover it up with a word phrase sticker or something like that. Yeah, I like that. And it doesn't have to be questions and answers. So this would be good. I like these circle pieces, and I like the idea of using a photo in the middle. I do like that. And then these for journaling cards, for coupled with this paper. What's on the back? So it's the squares paper. So coupled with this paper for additional journaling cards or pattern paper inserts or something like that. And going along with this one, what's the details of the story? And then this one with the numbers and covering up those, and then coupling it with those 3x. So that basically there's a good mix of 3x4 and 4x6 papers for a fun thing. So like whatever. There's that. This might be good. Let's see. Yeah. This one's kind of a fun-ish paper. And it might go well, but it's not fitting the vibe. Maybe it would just to put a 5x7 up here, like an opening photo. Okay, of a big thing, like graduation's coming up, people's birthdays are good big things, travel, vacations, those sort of things. Using the vellum as well. So like, not a question and answer thing, just this is a thing that happened in life. And so if you're traveling with other people, like if you have 3 people or 6 people, reprint this paper. What's your favorite part of our trip together? Yeah, I mean, that's the best question. Or what was your favorite day, etc. So I'm going to set these aside. So even though I live alone, I'm single, I don't have any children living in my home, I can ask myself this, like, what was my favorite day of the trip or the event and why? Boom, right here, answer. What was my favorite thing overall? Boom. What was something interesting that I saw out of the ordinary that I saw? What was the best food that I ate, etc. for a travel thing? So I like that. What's the story goes along with it as a journaling card, filler card piece. Was there another one that said, what's the story? I kind of feel like there was. So these as filler for journal cards, filler cards, putting this together with these pages. So I'm picturing it in my brain. So I'm going to take the Q&A cards out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the same way that Allie did in the classroom. I'm going to take this Q&A right here, and I can reprint this paper, so I'm not worried about it at all because I bought the digital kit. Here's the red. Not super duper in love with the red. I'm probably not going to print it at all unless I wanted to coordinate it with something red. I can't even imagine what it would be at this point, but that's the beauty of getting the digital kit, is so I can duplicate this page, I can duplicate this page, so I can have as many of these as I want. I can reprint this whole page. So what I'm going to do is, okay, so this one is I'm going to put it over here. So this is 11, and I think that's most of the kit. I still have to go through these guys, and I'm definitely getting more of those. And that will make, if I add in some travel pieces, that would make a great travel one. If I just do a bunch of fun stuff, if I pick, so I can pre-plan to do 12 fun things for my birthday. I can do them during the whole month. I can do them during my birthday day. I can pick 6 things to take the photograph of. I can cut this paper up to use that. I can use the remnants of this grid. So if I cut it here, right, I can use the remnants of this grid as for a 2x2 pocket page. So there's so many pieces in this kit. It's so versatile. So I'm just going to put all of these pieces together over there off screen, and that's a whole nother one. I like these pinks together. Asking for a friend. That's always the way, isn't it? I've already chosen those. There's nothing else under there. Questions? Oh, it is. Okay, so there's 4 of these. To be or not to be? That is the question. Sometimes the questions are complicated and the answers are simple. So I want to use and then write about my current faith questions. Don't you get up here, madam. Okay. And that is that one. So that gratitude, I'm excited to do that one. I'll put that in my paper now. No, ma'am. No. So I'm excited to do this gratitude one. I will put those in my story album for sure. ha. Ha ha ha. I'm still thinking about this one. Still thinking about it. And these I'm not really sure about. These I'm not really sure about. But I got most of the kit used. All right, let's see what's in here. Some stories end with more questions than answers. Wish I had more answers. Ask more questions. Is there another half circle? Yes. Story questions, share more. Story answers, share more. I don't know. I wonder. So, are these, they're kind of not. I could use the colors of the kit since I bought the digital kit. I can use the colors of the kit to make more of these if I wanted to do that as well. Questions equal curiosity. Answers. The question isn't who's going to let me, it's who's going to stop me. This is one of my all-time favorite quotes. It really is. It's from Ayn Rand, and she wrote The Fountainhead, and I think that quote is from that book. I think so. And I could probably use that as a jumping off point to tell about the book. And the society actually did movies about it. So being able to so there's that one. Just out off of that, and then it's fine. Just a piece of paper. It might do well just to adhere journaling on this piece of paper, just to do. I don't have a piece of paper, so let's do this. Just that. I like that. The orange might go better with the green. And then you put your journaling there. You can put a photo of, you can put a photo here and then journaling down here. So just a strip of journaling at the bottom. I like that idea. So plus, so I got that one. Let's see, the more you know, the more you don't know. That's Aristotle. She asked the questions and loved the answer. Seriously. Question. Out of the question, no more answering, please. The key to wisdom is knowing the right questions. I like that, but I don't know. There's what. That sounds like a yell to me. It does. What are these guys? Oh, little numbers. Little numbers. Does this make sense? FAQs about me, FAQs about you, just why. Special interview, that might be a thing. FAQ in the season, Q&A. I like the pink on that. That goes well with this pinks. It's a little brighter. When and where. Let's see, the questions I seem to be asking over and over again. I don't really do that as much anymore now that I don't have a spouse who is, well, we're not talking about that. Okay, so we got more asterisks. Asterisks. All right, so 1 through 10 with these tiny little numbers. And this little circle guy, what if? I kind of like this for just what if, what if, what if, what if, what if. You know, like just to answer questions like, what if I won the lottery? What if I had $1 million? What if I could go anywhere in the world? Where would I go? What if, what if, what if? I like a whole page of those. I do like that. Maybe I will try that. Yeah, and then this story, question and answer. I feel like this is a lot like this. Kind of like the idea of that. Maybe it would fold in to, I love that. Okay, here's what I just thought of. All right, so what number am I on? 14. So I could take and cut this out, just that part, and then fold it in and like punch a little piece here so that it or put a tab on the edge so it's like, hey, lift that up. And the same with this piece, cut around the edge and then create a flip. And then underneath, it's the visual representation of the question or the answer. Or you can just, or I could just cover that up all the way around. So that will sort of cover it, but it's too long. So it's still possible, definitely possible to put something there. Moments and memories. What else is over here? That won't fit. Yeah, there's not really. What about this? That would fit. So, yeah, cover it. So create a flip and then photo underneath. Yep, there we go. The more you know, the more you don't know. I like that. What about this? So it's possible. I don't like the way that looks though. That might be fun to create a thing. Story answers, story questions. Share more questions and answers. Huh. Okay, and then clearly these are fantastic. Let's see, who do you consider to be your family? How would you like to be remembered? What are 3 things that are hard? What are 3 things you love? What's your first memory of me? And me could be anybody. Or also asking these of someone else, and then you answering them in response to the other person. I could find a friend, I could find a family member, and ask these questions. So interview strips is what I'm going to call them. So I like that. There's not really any more paper left. I mean, I guess you can use, I could use this one and cut it up. It might be better in an 8x8 size for this one, I would think. These look nice with this, but that's kind of busy. Kind of busy. And it would definitely fit in a 4x4 pocket, maybe? Will it fit in a 4x4 pocket? Absolutely it will. It's just under 4. So there we go. That would be nice. So that might work. Doing it like this. Journaling here for a 3x4. Doing this for the 4x4 and the 4x6. Yeah, I like that. Just doing both. Let's see. When I say a 4x6, so if it was like this on a 4x6. Okay, so I will definitely do that. So there's another one. Ask more questions, which I like the FAQs. Frequently asked questions about me. Where'd the other one go? 3 FAQs. There we go. FAQs about you, FAQs about me, FAQ in this season. 16 FAQ chipboard. What is that? FAQ would it fit? It would fit nicely on a 3x4 card, but it would also do well 3x2 FAQ about you, and then have the journaling here, photo here. You can do it. It would work well this way as well. Okay. So here's what I've got for that one, just so you can see it a little better. So I just wrote the pieces down again. Photo 2x3, FAQ chipboard, then 2x3 and 2x3. And I think having those, that would work out well. I like that. Okay, so what is left? There is in the season. So let's see, I'm gonna put these pieces away. My asterisks. Don't you just love that word, asterisks? Let's be weird together. This might go well with my life questions. I like that one. Okay, so I'm gonna pop all this up over here. Back into my little plastic container. I think I'm gonna leave those in there. Just why? So I've got 16. I've got 16 stories. So starting here with 2 Project Life ones, a one little word one, and several stories for my story album for this year. I think they'll be a lot like a journal, and that's probably fine. I'm going to put these asterisks embellishments in this plastic container. Let's see, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. I'm not counting this. So I've got 4 cards, so that's one piece of vellum and 1 piece of 12x12 paper. Some of the papers in this kit, the 12x12 papers, I have decided to use twice. Let's see. So here is Project Life number 1, and it's just the question and answers. They will do well. So I might cover up the Q&A portion and just be story or something like that, or a word phrase sticker. Thankful for the questions. So these together, so that's 1. And then 2, that one will go back in here. The embellishments will be counted as 1 too. So embellishments that were remaining, plus 1 piece of 12x12 paper and 1 piece of vellum paper, plus 4x6 cards. So four items from the kit that were unplanned. So I'm going to move those over. And I may or may not use the word stickers, but the letter stickers would be great as a title, especially for the big event one here. So Tripper birthday month. Okie doke. So got the 2 Project Lives with the 3x4 cards. I have the Ayn Rand quote and page. I have this one with the, oh no, I got some moisture on there. It looks like there we go. I've got this one, so I'm going to put this one this way. With the flip-ins. What did I say with this one? I've got my gratitude one. There's that one. Let's put those over there for a second. I have the ING, what's lighting you up on the inside, plus the would you like an adventure now or shall we have tea first? That really does remind me of Alice in Wonderland, and it kind of makes me want to make an Alice in Wonderland page. Okay, so then we have Project Life cut aparts here. And then the big one here, so I have half of this at least for an insert in Project Life or my story album. And then the other part of it as remnants for this, my big trip page. I've got the question and answer page from Allie Edwards. I've got these to add on to the big trip page. And these are from my big life questions. So I'm going to put these with that one. And I'm going to I might end up doing that today, but it's just journaling, so I probably won't show it on my channel. I want to reprint and use this page in an 8x8 size, probably with the blue vellum page. More trip things there. So I think that's like 3 or 4 stories just in that. This is the first one. So currently more questions than answers. That could either go with this or it could go with my life questions page, one of the two. My Q&As, I didn't think I was going to use these for sure, but totally going to use those. And then this one was the first one. So my more questions, there are years that ask questions and years that have answers. So I'm going to put all of these pieces together because right now there is a lot. And I'll put that with that. So thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. If you got this far, please press the like button and subscribe if you want the algorithm to know that you want to see more content like this. I totally enjoy sharing this with you, and I hope you enjoy sharing it with me as well. So I'll see you around the internet, friends, sometime soon, friends. Bye.